Happy Sunday, everyone. So good to just have a couple of minutes to share with you now. I've just finished the clients for the day in the office and I'm just going to be shooting off in a minute. So I thought I'll quickly jump on. I've noticed, particularly on our membership groups, that a lot of people are asking, and I'm guessing there's been a lot of new people lately, they're asking, will their hypnosis sessions still work if I fall asleep? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. The hypnosis sessions will still work if you fall asleep, because your subconscious mind is hearing all the time. You know, it's listening all the time and it's taking on board things that are for your benefit, in much the same way that if you were, you know, when you're asleep, if there's something that happens that needs your attention, you wake up. It's, you know, it's exactly the same. So your subconscious is aware, looking out for you all the time. So anything that you're listening to when you're, you know, and you fall asleep, if it's for your benefit, then it's going to be taken on board by your subconscious mind and it will help you. The thing is, what the people often mistakenly believe is that their hypnosis will make them do something, and it won't make you do anything. But what it will do is it will make it a lot easier for you to do the things that you actually want to do. So if you're wanting to follow the guidelines, the hypnosis sessions in your 12 Weeks to Wow app or in your virtual gastric, whichever session you're using, you know, it could be Little Black Dress, it could be wedding weight loss. I know we've got a lot of future brides with us at the moment, but whichever one you're using is being taken on board by your subconscious mind to help you to follow the guidelines and to make the changes that you want to make. Now, that moves me on to the guidelines. So nothing's going to happen just by listening to the hypnosis. That won't change. It'll only start to change when you start to put some little bit conscious effort into following the guidelines. Now, while I'm on that subject, another thing that I've noticed a few times is people saying, you know, oh, it's really hard to follow the guidelines. What would be the most beneficial thing you can do here now is to change your language. It's not hard and it's not difficult, but it is different. So it's different to what you've been doing up to now, and let's be honest, you know, what we've been doing up to now hasn't actually worked, so we need to do things differently. So you're going to do things differently and follow the guidelines. And I noticed that a lot of people say when they're finding it challenging, that people say, well, focus on one at a time. Now, this is kind of great in a way, but not really the answer we should be giving. And I'm going to give a short explanation now. And I hope this helps to put this all in perspective. There are 4 guidelines, and what we want to think of those are like 4 instructions in a recipe. The 4 guidelines are your recipe for weight loss success. So if you were to come to, say you came to my house to tea, wouldn't recommend it, never anything in. But if you came to my house to tea and say I'd made, I don't know, a fruitcake, and you said to me, Sue, that's a really lovely fruitcake, really like that. I'd like to make it at home. Can you give me the recipe? So I say, and this is where my colouring skills will come into question. People would know that I just defrost. But basically what you do is you put a pound of raisins in, 6 eggs, a pint of milk, pound of flour. You mix it all up like this. You put it in this size tin and you bake it at this temperature. And within 1 or 2 degrees, if you were to do that, you would get exactly the same fruitcake that I get. However, if you add, I don't know, too many eggs, or you leave out the milk and you bake it at a different temperature, you're either going to get a horrible sloppy mess or a great big hard lump. But either way, you're not going to get the same fruitcake that I got. Now, you might be thinking, well, what's that got to do with the guidelines? Well, if you think of the guidelines as the recipe for weight loss, if you're only doing 1 guideline at a time, that's a bit like only adding the pound of raisins and expecting to get the same fruitcake that I got. Does that make sense? So if anyone's out there and I am making sense, could you just type yes? Or if you've got a question about that, please type it in the questions below and I'll clarify it a bit more. But basically, if you want to get the complete answer, if you want to get the complete package, then just focus on the guidelines. Focus them one at a time, but while you're actually doing that. So you know, you only need to focus on, am I still hungry, before you eat. But then when you start eating, you do need to focus on, what do I want to eat? And do I want the consequences of eating that food? And then when you've decided you are physically hungry and you do want that particular food, you then do need to focus on sitting down with it, eating it slowly and consciously, noticing which foods, you know, you believed were good for you that maybe they're not so good for you, and noticing the foods that you thought you didn't like so much that you do like so much. And then you need to focus on guideline number 4, am I still hungry? And that's the complete recipe that will give you exactly the same results that I got and loads of other people have got. I'm just trying to think of some names that you could quickly type in and check. Alison Shilley, Kirstine Mosley, Alison Hardman, Emma Jeffcott, Tracy Hardman, David Rose Masson. If you type some of those names in, you'll see their before and after photos, you'll see their story. A recent one that comes to mind, Deborah Hatcher, fabulous photographs of her before and after journey and her 7-stone weight loss, but she followed the recipe and got the same results. You know, she's getting those fantastic weight loss results. So if you've got any questions, type them in below. Thank you very much for joining me. As I say, the hypnosis is not going to make you do something, but it will make it much, much easier for you to do the things you want to do. And it will make it much, much easier for you to follow the guidelines if that's what you're choosing to do. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye for now.